Okay, Bora Boy, how's everyone? Um, Tapping in with folks on Zoom and Instagram, Facebook Live, YouTube. The only people who really can say anything right now are those individuals who are on the Zoom link. So, Ed Caro, good morning. Good to see you. Good to hear from you all. Thank you all for joining us today. Um, so we typically do like divinations at this temple Edin Kat for some interesting social justice issues. We've cast Ifa and offered a bow regarding the political climate before, and the key is not to be not to choose a particular side. The key is for us to choose the best side for us and also to kind of guide the narrative. I think it's always been very important for us as IFA practitioners to use our systems for the protection of ourselves and the protection of our community. So I just wanted to begin with that and also just begin with prayer. And hopefully the room fills and there will be people who will be able to share their opinions and thoughts. The way that you'll be able to do that is you can plug in your comments on probably the YouTube link or the Zoom link. For sure, you can have your voice heard, and the Facebook Live link. I think that I'll check Instagram just to see what people have to say there as well, but we'll just do it here. So let's begin. Let's start with prayer. Ola Dumai, Mojo Ba Olo, Mojo Ba Leda, Mojo Ba Lolo, Mojo Ba Bo Romana, Mojo Ba Bo, Male, Mojo Boy, Sanduli Solomon, Mojo Ba, Shungwa, Mojo Abo, Mojo Ba Fragamus, Mojo Ba Tomo, Mojo Flores, Mojo Ba Palako, Mojo Ba Philip, Mojo Ba Kujobi, Mojo Ba Mini, Mojo Shamala, Mojo Salam, Mojo Musonat, Mojo Ba Sidi, Mojo Ba Pastel, I won't lie, I see about it. Rumela, we come to invoke the spirit. We ask that you will continue to ward off death, ward off sickness, ward off faces, controversy, ward off fights, litigation, losses, and our advice from us. Support all of our community, support all of our people. We ask that you will ward off our death, ward off our sickness, ward off our cases and controversy, ward off fights, litigation, losses, and our advice, ward off witchcraft and negative energy from us. Support us as individuals. Support us as a community to help us to get our needs met. In terms of this coming election, there are a lot of things that are coming up. We ask that you will ward off all death, ward off all sickness from us, ward off cases and controversy, ward off fights, litigation, losses, and outright fights from us, ward off evil and danger. Support all of our communities, help us to get our needs met as Ifa and Orisha people. Support our children from police brutality, support our children from racist attacks, support all of us. We call on you. Emma coming in and mama coming in and mama coming in and yellow. Come on, let's only follow me, border keep on me. And then see follow let it. I share. If I we ask that you would help all of our voices to indeed be heard as we come together as a community. All right, cool. All right, before we begin, let's feed Ifa. Orumila, Osoro Dayo. Ifa, we come invoking your spirit, we ask, we come feeding you with Obi Oropo and Epo. Ela mopel, sete per mopel, alomi tuka mopel, alomi mopel, avenda mopel, Ifa mopel. Ifa, we ask that you would ward off all death, ward off all sickness, cases, controversies, ward off fights, litigation, losses, and our fights from us, ward off witchcraft and negative energy. Bring forth to us long life, wealth, good spouse, good children, longevity, prosperity, victory over adversity, peace of mind, joy, healing, success, and all good things of life. Help us to have adequate resources during this upcoming election year. Help us so that our families will all be protected, our children will be protected, that there won't be any policies that will be passed that will be destructive for any of us or any of our Ifa communities. We come together as Idin Kaifa Temple, and those individuals who would like to participate, they can also join in as well. Help us so that we can turn the tide of any negative repercussions or any negativity that could be coming to all of us as a community regarding what is happening in our political system, our economy in the United States, and the society. Help us to heal and repair our world. Ashe, Father, come propitiating with Obi and Orobo so that you would support us. Do you support us in this endeavor at this time, Father? Remove death, remove sickness, cases, controversy with our fights. Set this Orobo to the Ashe. Remove death from us. Remove sickness from us. Remove evil and danger from us and our family members. Remove fights. No. Please do support us all in being successful in this endeavor and transforming our world, healing our nation, healing our respective communities. Itawa, Lord, with Apple and OT. Ashe, Father, support us. Please help us. Guru Guru Gwede and Difa for Rama. Apples are super apple. Apples are joined in making it apple. Guru Guru Gwede. Sure. Olumila. Come. Odio. Difa. Now. Ashe, support us, push away all the Ajuku, bring forth all the erase, revive, guide, direct, protect, and keep us safe. Keep us all. Ashe. All right, good to see you all. Thank you all for joining in. We only have one person in on the Zoom, so we're on Zoom, we're on Facebook Messenger, we're on Instagram. So those of you who would like to support and participate in this endeavor, please, I want us to please, if you have the desire, share your thoughts. If not, I will begin with this discussion. And what we want to do is, anytime we cast Ifa, particularly on a community level, what we want to do is talk and at least come together in terms of our commonalities and also understanding general threats that are general threats to our community as a whole. So one thing that was concerning to me is some of the issues around what I've read about, heard about Project 2025. I'm not certain about how true that is, but really the aspect of the United States becoming much, much more conservative, and conservative mainly in the sense of destructive to marginalized communities. And when I talk of marginalized communities, what I'm also meaning is Black and Brown, African American in particular communities, Black folks here, and that also translates to Ifa, people who are practicing Ifa tradition. And what we're talking about in terms of that project and that push, and I would say, even depending on whoever wins, some of those initiatives will get pushed, just in my understanding. And what we are looking for is we would like to and we would like Ifa to choose the candidate and also choose the path that the nation can go. And the way that this can work better is if we can put our prayers together, put our elbow together so that we can get our collective needs met. And what that in essence means is even outside of the context um, of the United States political system, what I mean by that is like we can have pockets where we are protected, right? Where we are supported, where we are um, safe in essence, right? Because we have been the individuals, we are the ones who are offering the abode, and we're the ones who are trying to follow the directives of Ifa. So I think that it is often important to cast Ifa on these issues because, as I said before, some of these issues are kind of disturbing, like um, increased police presence, increased um, I would say immunity for police who commit crimes and perhaps kill with impunity. These are some of the directives in terms of how I interpret them. So I think that it is important for us to try to work for a collective transformation and also get some of the things that we need met, which is equal protection under the law. um, we need to have a candidate who's endorsed who will support the transformation and healing of the environment, right? We need adequate health care. Um, we need debt relief, particularly for like student loans and various things like that. We need support with childcare. We really just need to humanize the nation. The nation needs to be humanized to the degree where um, those individuals who perhaps are either less fortunate, like we need to address the homeless situation, human trafficking, all of these things. We need to address all of these things with this particular election that's coming up. And what I propose that we pray for is that whatever climate, uh, whatever contender, candidate, bill, whatever, whoever is in alignment with that healing will be able to uh, be successful. I see people posting um, on Instagram a great economy, someone who can lead and mediate in potential third world war, proxy wars. Indeed, also protection for children, ending human trafficking, slavery, what have you. Um, Strong, aggressive stop to human trafficking. Yes, all of those things. Indeed, I think Danielle is saying that. Thank you for sharing that. Um, all of those things are indeed things that we need to put an end to. Also, we need to um, we need adequate protection and we need support in terms of mental health support in terms of we've got so many individuals who perhaps are going unchecked in what I would consider to be the mental health system, and what they're doing much of the time is there are people who are uh, irate with guns. So extensive background checks for individuals who are getting guns and um, trying to keep guns out of the hands of people who are not well. We need also support in terms of uh, the police. The police should be able to be checked in terms of the work that they're doing. associated with marginalized communities, associated with people who have mental health issues. It's not wise to call the police for a person that you know is having a mental health breakdown, right? We need better trained individuals to handle such situations. We have so many issues that we need met. Definitely homelessness, human trafficking. I'm gonna put out there. We also need to lobby for at some point for reparations. Reparations are definitely needed, and they're warranted, particularly for African American communities. If you don't know what reparations are, we can go through a discussion in a class on that. But um, there actually has not been any level of acknowledgement of the slavery and enslavement that has happened in this country. There hasn't even been an apology yet. We still see Wells Fargo, Wachovia, Brooks Brothers, um, Citibank, so on and so forth. All of these banks benefited off of slavery. And what I mean by that, they used African Americans as human collateral um, on loans. And let's say a person during that time defaulted on their loan, they would collect your enslaved Africans, right? Repossess them. So we really haven't talked about the vast majority of American wealth has been generated off of slavery and enslavement. We haven't had that discussion. No one has had that particular discussion because when we start to have that discussion, certain things start to come up. So we need to also have the discussion on reparations. I'm so glad in California we at least have some bills passed, and there is the potential possibility uh, of receiving reparations, right? Okay, I see. Oh yeah, definitely. I thank you for adding that. Stop aggressive behavior towards Africa. Indeed. Um, I see mental health and less access to street drugs, stricter opioid and fentanyl regulations. Yes, indeed. Thank you for that. No federal ban on abortion. Indeed. No federal bans on coercive actions on free speech. I see that for sure. Yeah, we need to look at all of those things. We need to look at all of those things and also consider those things. And as we cast Ifa on this. So I I think we're in consensus as whatever community has shown up here, and also the community in terms of Idinka, um, and at least the United States branch of Shekundari. Hopefully, we all can work together to, to work as a force to heal this community. So, with that, we've got a lot. We've said a lot, and I'm glad that this is recorded. All right. All right. So let's begin casting, and what I want is I would like for people to pray, and wherever you are, please just pray, pray, and if you can put your hands toward the screen. That's how they do in some places. One second. Uh, so please pray, and as you pray, so will I, and we will cast. So, all right, let's see. All right. Orumila. Orumila ileri kwenidi kejo loro mare ajejo wone peti pichu kuta olome toba jai oro bigu jigbo olone jigo giga gba egun ododo ti ndo rin atunu ti ko fun se mo e ko lego gbon oro mi mo tan ko se aba won tan ni ba se pe o di wa kora kora tin ko bo wa ni kan Mojuba Shera Shera Gogo Wagonama. Elawa, Elawa, Lawa, Rumilawa, Rumilawa, Rumilawa. If I build about Coco Day, if I build about Coco Day, Rumila, build about Rocobo, or Rumila, build about Rocobo, Ere Giggin Tequagig, Ere Giggin Tequagig, Ere Giggin Tequagig, Abi Amo Quebec Record. If I Gire, money for Colade, we come invoking your spirit. Please support us as a community as we come together to do something good for the community, to heal the community, to pray for the protection of our children, to protect our elders, to protect us in this country of the United States in particular. We ask that you would support the best candidate, to support the candidate in this election that will assist all of us in getting our needs met, that will support us so that we can um, begin the discussion of healing and reparations for our community, so that we can begin receiving that, and also so that we can stop bans on abortion, stop bans on we can begin to stop human trafficking in our community, so that we can end a potential world war, mediate that. Also, help us to get better bans on the climate control, help us to heal the climate and reverse the trend that's happening, so that we can have a better environment for our children. If we ask that you would assist us in so many ways. We've said so much, but we ask mainly that you would support all of us. Ward off death, ward off sickness, ward off cases, controversy, ward off fights, ward off litigation, losses, outright fights, ward off evil and danger from us, ward off witchcraft, ward off negative retribution from casting Ifa on good things as a community. Help us to put aside our differences, put aside the things that we were upset about that one of us did to the other, and help us to be able to forgive each other and move forward as a collective whole, so that we can get our needs met. We are stronger together than we are split apart. Ashe. Speak clearly. Oh, I mean, word off on that, word off on sickness, those spiritual attack all of our enemies. Define what is the Odu? What is the Odu? Ereto Tura. Ire Ayewo. So if I says Erete Otura, Ire. If I, what is Ire for us? Ire cool or no? Besa. Aje. Or no. Ibre Aje. Osaleye. Ibre Aje. Aje Tutu. Aje Nina. Erosun. Erosun Meji. Erosun Fadeke. Aje Tutu. Ebo. Akunabo. Obefun. Ebo. Okay. Eretel Tura. All right. Abora boy. Thank you all for joining us. All right, so I'm going to do a short interpretation of this Odu Ifa. And those of you who are online, thank you for joining us. Thank you for tapping in. So I want to do a quick kind of summation of Irete Otra, so that when we look at Irete Otra, I want also for my Oluwo, my teacher, Chief Shalagbade Popola, to also he'll give information in my Oluunla Irawifa. He will also give us information about the Odu as well. So I'm gonna make a couple of quick announcements before I get into this. So um, those of you who would like to join our SU class, is just $10. So join. You can go to the website now and do that, because I'll be starting that class right after this divination. So if you want to be down, just do that. It's just $10, and we're gonna share quite a bit of information about SU and so on. So now's like a good time to kind of tap in with that. So anyway, let's talk about this in terms of our situation. The Odu is Irete Otra, also known as Irete Opere. Ifa says that we come in the Ire of wealth. Ire Aje Tutu, coming with Ebo. So many interesting messages for us here in terms of this. Ifa says that we need to pray to Olodumare every morning very early, and this is so important. Our needs will be met through utilizing Almighty God and the tool of Ifa as the means for us to get our needs met. So on this Odu, it's very, very, very important to pray. It's very important to pray. So the more and the better that you pray to Ifa, and this Odu is saying that we need to be saying the things that we want, saying the things that we want to manifest and also occur. That is super important in terms of the manifestation of the prayers and also for us to have what we need during this election year. So if I would suggest pray for the things that you want. Perhaps the things and the needs that you want so that those needs will be met. Ifa says that we will not lack in getting the things that we want if we represent good behavior at all times. And what Ifa is also saying is also that the in terms of this election, the individual who will have the best chances of leading is a person who has demonstrated a general aspect of good character. So the candidate that has demonstrated the most aspects of good character is the one who will be rewarded, because this Odu says that whoever has and demonstrates good character will be rewarded for their behavior. Okay. Ifa says that we will be blessed with things that most of our contemporaries do not have. Ifa says that now is, like I said, a great time to be praying and praying for our children, praying for our families, praying for everyone. That is the way that we'll have the things that we need. And also the people who are connected spiritually, working with God. These are the individuals that will be supported at this time. In terms of this Odu, Ifa also says that it's very interesting on this. Ifa says, Ire in the front, happiness in the rear. And this was the Odu cast for the mother of Olu Koshe and the mother of Okin. Both of these were women who were married to the king. And so what was happening is that this is very interesting. And as I'm analyzing this in my mind, it's rather poignant. So let me tell you the story so that it will make sense. So this is the story of two young boys who were going for, they were the children of the king. And what ended up happening is that one son, well, both mothers went for Ifa consultation. Ifa said, what you need to do is raise your son to have good character, raise your son to be, to be on time, raise your son to be accountable, and so on. And so as they did this, one mother was the son of, I believe his name was uh, Olukoshe. And Olukoshe was the son of the main mother of the king. So the main wife of the king, the first wife. So in essence, that child will be the shoe-in because he had all the money, all the resources, all the accolades, and even support from certain people because he was an individual who was the shoe-in, so to speak, to be king because of his inheritance. The next person was Okeen, I believe, was the young boy's name, and his mother was like second or third wife of the king, so she was further on the totem pole. So that son was more than likely not the first contender. He was not the first choice. In essence, he was the underdog. And what ended up happening is the mother of Olukoshe did not offer a bow because she, she felt like, well, my son is the shoe-in for being the king when the king dies. And so Okeen's mother raised him right. She taught him ethics. She taught him how to be a good person. She taught him accountability. And so as this occurred, um, he would wake up early in the morning and do his chores. He would be respectful of elders. He would obey the law. He would do all those things. While the other son, Olukoshe, he would do whatever. He would disrespect the laws. He would disrespect people. He would disrespect his elders. And he would do all sorts of negative and evil things. And he was just an all around lazy person who really was not educated about the position of being the king of the community. He didn't know much. All he knew was, it's my birthright. And he was very arrogant about that. So when the father dies, the king dies, they had to make the new king. And of course, Olukoshe was the first choice. Everyone was like, oh, Olukoshe, he's going to be the king. So Olukoshe had been accustomed to waking up like late at night, or waking up later in the day. Like he couldn't wake up early because he was so accustomed to waking up at like 2 p.m., 12 p.m., so on. So the kingmakers called Olukoshe and said, look, we need you to come at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. into the grove for us to make you the king. All right? Or we got to give you something at that time. So please get yourself together so we can do this and help our community. So he tried and tried. He practiced to wake up. He practiced getting up and trying to do what he needed to do, to no avail. And finally, Olukoshe then asked his brother Okeen, he said, look, man, I can't wake up early in the morning. I need you. Go into the grove and just get whatever they're going to give to me. Just go there and get it and give it to me. So Okeen went for Ifa consultation. He offered Ebo. And then the next day he went into the forest, into the grove, and the chiefs and the kingmakers were there, and they're like, Olukoshe is not here. You're not Olukoshe. He was like, no, I'm his brother, the king. I'm the son of the king as well. And they then decided, well, he's here. He's of the bloodline. Let's make him king. And it was rightfully so because Okeen had more characteristics that were kingly, right? So when we look at this, what I want us to kind of analyze is the idea of who has more presidential aspects, who has more presidential experience, also who has been more accountable, who has had a better aspect of sharing good character, and last but not least, who doesn't have any smut on their name, right? All of these are in association with this story. The Odu goes further to say that one's mother is surely the architect of one's success. Okeen's mother offered a bow, so Okeen became successful. One's mother is also the architect of one's wretchedness. Olokoshe's mother did not offer a bow, and Olokoshe became wretched. So Ifa is saying the person who is the most respectable, the person who is of the best character, is the one who will be successful. And we can apply that associated to this election. But last but not least, we, as well as whoever we are vying for, need to offer a bow for that person and also for ourselves. Why? Because there are also evil plans and mechanisms in the background. There's an unseen hand that is trying to manipulate not only the world, the candidates, but also trying to manipulate us. This Odu Ifa says that there's a good chance for individuals to basically be setting a trap. Ifa says in Arete Otura, one leg leads to death, the other leg leads to survival. Difafun or Rumila, when going on Ifa mission to Olofin's palace, he was advised to offer a bow. He complied. Now, Okete had dug a trench and had escaped. And Okete had dug a trench, and Awo dies no more. Okete had dug a trench, and he escaped. In this Odu, Orumila is saved by Okete. So at a certain point, what I would even say is those of us who want to be protected by the negativity that this election could potentially bring, and even if it goes in the way that we still want to be protected from any manipulation. What is needed is we need to offer a bow. And after we offer a bow with Rooster and Okete, offer a bow with the Okete, and then dig a hole, and we do a ritual with one of your feet. You put that foot in the hole, and we perform the ritual. So Ifa is saying, be very, very, very mindful. Be very mindful of that. And once again, as I said before, bad character will not be will not bring success. Horrible character will not bring success. Conspiracy will only lead to shame. Okay, so I'm focusing on those aspects just to kind of give us an idea of what Ifa, what Ifa is telling us, that there are some things that we need to be recognizing, and also the candidates in which we endorse should be recognizing as well. So what I want to do, I'm going to suspend saying any kind of Ebo material for this. I want to come back and maybe share what Chief Popola and other elders have to bring for us in terms of this. So I'll do another video and share what they have shared with us. I'm sure there are people on here who will share the Odu with Olunla Idawifa. I'm certain, Danielle, if you can do that, because I'm sure you'll see him today, and I'm gonna text him as well. But yeah, just let him know, and he will also add his information to it along with the information that I'm adding to it, and then our elders will have the final say in terms of what is needed to be done. All right. So thank you all for joining us with that. I'll just let this be uploaded and posted, and we'll move from there. Once again, those of you who would like to be involved in the SU class, please join now. We only have maybe 2 minutes left, so tap into that. It's only $10, and then we're going to talk about some things associated with Eshu, and along with talking about things associated with Eshu, I'm going to talk talk about some new things and initiatives that I do every first of the month, and I want to include you all in on those things. So if you like, please tap in, join join that Zoom link as well. All right. Thank you so much, and we will talk to you shortly. Aboru, aboye, aboshishe, aboto.